Iran's attack on Israel has drastically changed the already fragile balance of power in the Middle East, making the scenario even more chaotic. This direct act transformed the tensions between the two countries into an open military conflict, raising the possibility of other countries in the region being involved indirectly. The consequences of this attack were felt globally, especially by the United States, which has long supported Israel and other allies in the Middle East. Washington interpreted this Iranian aggression as a threat to its own interests in the region. In response, the U.S. military acted quickly, strengthening its air defense capabilities in the Middle East. The Pentagon announced that additional defense systems have been placed at U.S. bases in the region, and new troops would be sent to reinforce the U.S. military presence. These actions are aimed not only at protecting Israel, but also at ensuring the safety of U.S. facilities and interests. The bases in the region are strategically important, housing not only military forces but also critical infrastructure for U.S. logistics operations throughout the Middle East. The presence of such advanced defense systems as the Patriot and THAAD increases the response capacity against ballistic and air attacks that could threaten not only Israel but also regional allies of the United States, such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. The movement of troops and the increase in defense systems reinforce the deterrence policy that the United States maintains in the region. These moves are also part of a larger strategy to contain Iran's growing influence in the area. The Pentagon has made it clear that it will take all necessary measures to protect its allies and send a message to Iran. Any further provocation will be promptly answered. The American stance is a clear message not only to Iran, but also to regional actors such as Hezbollah and Shia militias. The United States remains committed to the stability of the region, and the deployment of troops and equipment reinforces its commitment to the defense of its strategic partners. It also demonstrates to the world that American military capability remains intact and ready to operate in complex and volatile scenarios. The growing nuclear tension between Iran and the Western powers makes these measures even more crucial. The United States has shown firmness in preparing Air Force and Navy units for possible movements at strategic points in the Middle East. These troops have the mission not only to defend, but also to react quickly if there is another Iranian offensive. With strategic air bases spread across crucial regions such as Qatar and Bahrain, and warships stationed in the Persian Gulf, the United States is able to maintain a robust military presence. The readiness of U.S. military forces in the region includes state-of-the-art fighter jets, strategic bombers and special forces, all trained to respond to any emerging threat. The rapid mobilization of these forces is intended to ensure that any threat is neutralized before it can turn into a broader crisis. With U.S. support, Israel maintained its determination to proceed with retaliatory operations. The partnership between the two countries has intensified with constant exchanges of intelligence and strategic military cooperation. Israel, backed by the U.S. military presence, has intensified its attacks on strategic targets of Hezbollah and other Iranian-backed militias both on Syrian and Lebanese soil. This collaboration between the U.S. and Israel also sends a clear message to regional adversaries. Any attempt to weaken Israel's position will be met with military force. Cooperation between the two countries demonstrates not only a commitment to mutual security, but also strategic alignment in combating threats that challenge regional stability. In response to Iran's missile attack, Israel launched a massive retaliation against strategic facilities, including oil production centers. High-ranking Israeli military commanders met in an emergency to plan the offensive, with the aim of weakening Iran's oil infrastructure, damaging its economy and limiting its ability to develop ballistic missiles. The operation was considered one of the most complex and risky in recent years, involving the coordination of various intelligence units, air forces, and specialized commands. In addition to directly targeting the Iranian economy, the attack also sought to send a clear message to the Iranian government about the consequences of continuing its military escalation in the region. The destruction of critical oil facilities would have an impact not only on Iran's domestic economy, but also on its regional allies, who depend on the flow of Iranian resources to sustain military operations. The Mossad, Israel's intelligence service, has provided detailed information on key targets in Iran, such as the oil refineries of Abadan and Bandar Abbas located in Khuzestan province, as well as the oil export terminal on Karg Island. This information was crucial to the surgical accuracy of the attacks, allowing the Israeli forces to avoid significant collateral damage in civilian areas. Mossad, known for its high-level espionage operations, has also managed to map supply and logistics routes that sustain Iran's military capabilities. In the first phase of the attack, Israeli planes bombed the largest oil production facilities in western Iran. Abadan refinery has been targeted by laser-guided bombs launched by Israeli F-35 fighters, with the aim of completely stopping its production. The precision of the F-35s, combined with advanced guided pump technology, caused extensive damage to the refinery, temporarily paralyzing Iran's capacity to process oil. The use of F-35 stealth fighters allowed Israel to conduct the operation undetected by Iranian air defense systems, avoiding casualties among its own forces. The immediate impact of the destruction of the Abadan facility was felt in the drop in oil production, which in the long run could aggravate Iran's economic crisis, already under pressure from international sanctions. This initial phase of the offensive served as a prelude to possible subsequent attacks on other critical parts of Iran's infrastructure. At the same time, the oil storage facilities in Bandar Abbas suffered intense shelling. Israel also attacked the port of export on the island of Karg, the most important in Iran, using cruise missiles fired from submarines. Targets included oil tankers and export infrastructure, with the aim of seriously affecting the country's oil exports. The island of Karg is responsible for about 90% of Iranian oil exports, making it a strategic target of utmost importance to destabilize the Iranian economy. The destruction of oil tankers has had an immediate impact on the oil market, raising global prices and aggravating Iran's economic crisis, which depends heavily on oil exports to finance its military operations and maintain its regional influence. In addition, the Israeli Air Force attacked production and storage sites of ballistic missiles located near Tabriz and Karaj. These military complexes have been severely damaged by precision bombs, causing significant damage to Iran's missile production capacity. Coordinated attacks by Israel, with the support of the United States, marked a new phase of escalation in the conflict. The tension in the Middle East is growing, and the balance of power in the region remains uncertain. The economic impact on Iran and international pressure make the situation even more delicate. If you found this content interesting and want to keep informed about geopolitical and strategic issues, do not forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share your opinion in the comments. Also, if you want to learn more about applying the biblical teachings to achieve prosperity in your life, check out our Bible Path to Prosperity course. Let us walk together this path of wisdom and success.